I think basically my point is, you used to not be able to get a job without a degree, and if you had
That's the thing. Yeah.
if you had tattoos, you couldn't work, and if you had
Yeah.
an ear piercing, it was like you couldn't work, or like it was super strict.
Yeah.
All of those borders are kind of crumbling now.
That's exactly what like my like final doubt was, because we literally live in an age where people just start like learning on online and start posting on Instagram, and they develop their own identity, they develop their own style, and that's it. Like once you've done that and you've established a space for yourself, there's really not much that's stopping you, even if you don't have a degree.
Yeah.
Which makes me question the whole idea of what really is the value of a degree. And that's where I get so many, like, I get so confused on like an hourly basis, because everyone says something different. So what do you think, since you're down that path at this point?
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
so many conflicting views, and I feel super torn. I'm really torn. I don't regret. I don't regret going to university.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
if I hadn't gone to university, I'm the kind of person that gets quite busy anyway, and so I think I probably wouldn't have regretted that either.
Yeah.
So I guess like, if you heard of Stoicism?
Yeah.
So if you look into Stoicism, it says, as long as you're not looking back, it doesn't matter which
Yeah.
direction you go in.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's not a helpful answer. I guess I would say.
No, I mean, at this point, we're just making conversation.
Yeah.
It's just nice to know a perspective of someone who's on the other side of my dilemma.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
But,
I'm in the same dilemma.
My whole thing is that if I decide to not go this year, and I decide to take a gap year, which is because Willem de Koning begins in September, they're not waiting. That I know I'm the kind of person who can do good work. I just need a brief to be given to me. I need a deadline to be given to me. I need a professor to be like, I expect this out of you. And that's when I do my best work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite confident now. I'm quite confident that no one is qualified to like, no one is really, like, none of us are really good enough at like life to have it kind of figured out by the time we're like, I don't know, like early 20s or even 30. Like, there's just so much to learn that I would argue you want to learn it sooner rather than later.
Definitely.
That's what I would argue. If you want to live a good life, which is like ultimately what this is all for, then you want to start learning the big lessons sooner rather than later. So I think university is good for slowing down the process and making it a bit more stable, so that you're not always thinking about how am I going to make money and pay the rent. You're thinking about your creative process, you're thinking about philosophy, you're thinking on a much larger scale, so that you can kind of come to some bigger conclusions sooner.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're comparing university and work, I would say you can probably get similar experiences. If you're comparing university to gap year, I would probably say that very much depends on your gap year. I know a number of people that have kind of gone on holiday or have worked for their whole gap year, and that might have taught them something, but not nearly as much. They won't have learned the bigger lessons that they could have been learning. It depends on how you want to use your gap year. If you're going to go and like fight in the Vietnamese army, then I'm sure you will learn more about life there than you will in university. But most people don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.